So by now we understand we won't be the members of the NATO in the nearest 5 to 10 years. But we don't need it at the moment. We need your help. We will cope with our enemies by ourselves, but they need anti-aircraft systems. After that, we'll need the guarantees for the security of our country. We had so-called guarantees at the Budapest papers, but they, at the end of the day, they were not more than the papers. They are not more than the papers written on them. We are a peaceful nation, you see. Of course, everyone had his or hers panic attack. It lasted maybe 1 day, by myself at least. So on the very next day, I fully understood we will win this fight. We will win this war. We came together. Everyone fights his own or her own fight. Not everyone should be able or need to shoot javelin or NLAW or Stugna. Someone has to plant the seeds. Someone has to keep the banking system alive. Everyone has his own fight. We had a moment of panic. It didn't last long. I guarantee we will win this war. Just help us with the defensive systems. We will fight to the end. It's our land. We will defend it, and there won't be no half decisions or agreements with the enemy. The story is a simple and complicated one at once. So my children were for some weeks already in Lviv because we knew the war is coming. At 5 o'clock in the morning we had these explosions just by our house. We had half an hour to collect ourselves and right away, because Odessa, where I am from, is golden prize for them. They just wanted to take Odessa because they believed Odessa is half a Russian city. They will get flowers on the streets and everything like this. It won't happen. Never. Odessa is Ukraine and will remain Ukraine for as long as we live. Like in any other situation like this, there is no common story. Everyone has his or her own story. Some of them had to pull out of the country because they're afraid for the safety of the children. All the men, as I know, remain. Some got to territorial defensive forces. Some came to the organized army forces. Some are volunteers. Some help with everything you can be useful to your city, to your country, like driving the cargos, like making this banking system to function, because it's also the back end of every war. You need your country to function in order to get our defensive forces function in the way they can, and they can. After this war, the world will never be the same as before. We had no illusions about our neighbors. They were destined to erase us as a nation. It won't happen as long as we live. But the world had its own illusions. The collective West had its own illusions. We had no illusions. We know this is a fight, and only one will remain. We are sure we will remain.